from Southwest Florida's news source. This is Fox 4 News at 6.
We begin Fox 4 News at 6 with breaking news in Lee County. Deputies responding to a call of possible shots fired at a home on Lakeland Circle in the Gateway area.
Now, this is less than a mile from Gateway Elementary School. If you're familiar with the area, we're told the school is on lockdown because they're holding an after-school program there.
All right, 4 in the Corner's Dave Colbreth just got on the scene. He's live on the phone with us right now. Dave, what can you tell us?
Well, the address is 11190 Lakeland Circle, and it's a 70-year-old man who apparently shot at his wife and perhaps daughter as well. There were gunshots. They don't know how many at this point, but what they do know is that nobody was hit, nobody was hurt. Perhaps one of them, either the wife or the daughter, was taken to the hospital, but that's just mostly routine and for a checkup just to make sure that they're safe and check on their well-being. The man is holed up, and apparently the SWAT team is in the area trying to talk him into surrendering, but right now that's what we know. 70-year-old man, shots fired towards his wife and daughter. We are in the Silver Lake subdivision. It's called Silver Lake Gateway, in the Gateway area, which is a little bit north of the Southwest Florida International Airport off Daniels Parkway and Griffin Road. So, again, we are here. We're going to get more information for you as it's being released, but right now, that's the status. Live, Dave Culp, Fox 4 in your corner.
All right, thank you, Dave, because he is holed up and it's an ongoing standoff here. We'll go back to you just as soon as we can. Meanwhile, we're following another breaking story, a brush fire in Fort Myers creating some heavy smoke. You might be seeing some of this right now. This fire burning in the Island Park area in South Fort Myers. A Fox 4 viewer sending in a picture from the scene. Fire officials telling us no homes are being threatened, and they say the fires actually burned about 60 acres or so, a little more than that. Crews are working to get it contained right now. We'll bring you any updates as we get them on air and online on fox4now.com. Another big story right now, a Lee County School Board member now changing his tune when it comes to picking your child's next superintendent.
Now, just yesterday, the school board agreed on a plan to have a replacement for outgoing superintendent Dr. Joseph Burke by next week. But now the school board members say that they want to put the brake on that plan. The school board member is Don Armstrong in this plan.
In a letter to the board chairwoman, Mary Fisher, Don Armstrong writes, after having many conversations with parents and community members, I think we should utilize a search firm to vet and recruit the best talent for the board to consider. We're going to have more on this developing story, including an interview with Don Armstrong on why he's changing his mind now, coming up tonight on Fox 4 News at 10. In the meantime, we want to hear from you on this. Do you think the Lee County School Board needs to take more time in its search for a new superintendent? You can voice your view right now when you call us 239-206 Fox 4.
New at 6, a Charlotte County school nurse is accused of driving to work drunk. 57-year-old Noreen Freeman was arrested yesterday where she works at Baker Elementary School in Punta Gorda. That's where we find 4 in your corner's Gabrielle Saran, who is live with the school district's response to these charges.
That's right, Kelly. It's in this school parking lot where officers say Freeman arrived to work drunk. They say she was slurring her words and could barely walk, all after a call came in that she was swerving in her gold car on her way to work. This happening Tuesday just before 7:30 in the morning. Officers say 57-year-old Noreen Freeman failed a sobriety test and later took a breath test for alcohol that showed a blood alcohol level of 0.275. But according to police, she told them her last drink was a vodka and Coke the night before. And to explain her behavior, Freeman said she was taking the drug meclizine. But Charlotte County school officials say coming to work intoxicated is just unacceptable. And Freeman has since bonded out of jail on $750. And the school district says Freeman is the one nurse here, and she's been working at Baker Elementary since 2008. Live in Punta Gorda, Gabrielle Saran, Fox 4, in your corner.
In the Storm Patrol Center now with your first look at weather. I'm going to unofficially declare the summer heat is here after this afternoon.
You're right about that. The dew point temperature is getting up close to 70, and we are seeing a few showers showing up right now as we're using the power of 4 Doppler radars to show us that there is some rain there. It's mainly east of I-75. Those are showers that are continuing to move inland. You can see the heaviest rain just south of LaBelle there. A couple of showers south of Arcadia, although it looks like those showers are moving away from Arcadia right now. Lehigh, a little bit of a brush rush of rain for you, but obviously the heaviest rain, and we're zooming in on it right there, just south of LaBelle. You can see that that heavy rain should continue to kind of move through here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. We think that your chance for rain is going to be going down a bit as we look toward the short-term forecast. Our weather headlines today, well, that's the fishing forecast, so we'll show you the weather headlines coming up here in just a couple of minutes. It includes some big changes that are going to be happening here over the next couple of days. We'll talk about those and preview your weekend coming up.
New information right now in a developing story we're following in Orlando. An FBI agent fatally shooting someone in connection with the Boston Marathon bombing investigation. 4 in your corner's Julian Glover standing by to show you what the FBI is saying about this deadly incident. Julian?
Hey Patrick, one man is dead and an FBI agent is recovering from injuries tonight after investigators say an interview ended with gunfire. It happened this morning. This is the man that FBI says was killed. He's being identified as 27-year-old Ibrahim Tedeshev. According to reports, he was an acquaintance of the Boston bombing suspect, Tamerlan Tsarnaev. The FBI says one of their agents, along with other law enforcement officials, was questioning Tedeshev at his home in Orlando. Officials say he became violent and lunged at the FBI agent with a knife. That's when the man was fatally shot. A friend of the victim says that this is not the first time that the FBI has been in this neighborhood.
When the bombing happened, he actually came to me next day and said, I can't believe it. I can't believe they did it. You know what I'm saying? And the FBI started following him, starting asking the questions, why you guys, what kind of connection do you have with them?
The FBI currently is not giving any official details on why it was interested in Tedeshev. Of course, we'll continue to follow this developing story for you. For now, live in the newsroom, Julian Glover, Fox 4 in your corner.
New tonight, Florida Highway Patrol saying that a mother who died after crashing her van into a canal off Alligator Alley was at fault in the crash. That comes from a just-released investigation into the January crash that took the life of Cecilia Douglas and her 2 daughters, Riley and Madison. All 3 were trapped underwater for several minutes after the van went into the canal. Investigators are once again inspecting a group of Lee County school buses that caught fire last week while they were parked in a bus depot overnight. Today, investigators with the manufacturer of the bus inspected the undercarriage. The cause of the fire remains unknown, but officials say they do not think it's a case of arson.
They are still assessing the mind-blowing damage from that Oklahoma twister tonight. Officials now saying 12 to 13,000 homes are damaged or destroyed by that tornado that struck on Monday. President Obama is scheduled to tour some of this damage on Sunday. Among the buildings destroyed, Plaza Towers Elementary School in Moore, Oklahoma. One man whose daughter was among the 24 people killed says he's trying to remember the light his child brought to the world.
She was the best kid anybody could have. She was, a ball of energy, a ball of love.
More coverage from Oklahoma coming up at 6:30, including some inspiring stories of survival from children who lived through this devastating storm. Meanwhile, more Southwest Floridians are stepping up to help. 4 in the corner's Colleen Hogan continuing our team coverage as she checks in with the local Red Cross.
The pictures tell the story. A Red Cross worker literally surrounded by rubble. In this shot, a volunteer stacks styrofoam boxes of hot meals.
It's a very hard day 2 days ago. Red Cross has been on the scene ever since.
More than 30 Red Cross disaster relief trucks like this one are on the ground in Oklahoma, providing emergency services and food. The Red Cross also has shelters set up for the thousands who lost their homes and everything inside.
It's a terrible situation and the circumstances are rough, but really we see the best of people come out when something like this happens.
Colin Downey with the Southwest Florida chapter of Red Cross says volunteers from our area are ready to be deployed. At least one is likely leaving today to head west. Volunteers especially needed now to relieve the first responders who are working around the clock.
We've had a long history here of deploying our people, maybe not the day of the disaster, but a couple days later, a week later.
Downey says Southwest Floridians are responding to the emergency with open hearts and wallets. He reports a spike in donations, especially since we're no strangers to natural disasters.
We've gone through some disasters in Southwest Florida, and we've had trucks come from California and North Carolina and you name it, and people remember that.
If you'd like to help out, we have a link for you right now on fox4now.com. Just click on the big red 4. Colleen Hogan, Fox 4 in your corner.
And if you're going to make donations, the Better Business Bureau of West Florida offering some tips to make sure your money gets to those who really need it. First, always be cautious about giving to unknown charities, especially if a group is reaching out to you online or by phone. Also, check to make sure that your donated money is actually going to the people in need, that all of your money is, and not just for overhead. CharityNavigator.org is a really good site for that, and of course, RedCross.org is a very safe bet for donating anytime. It's a story you'll be talking about. A woman dies before giving birth to her baby and then comes back to life. Hear from the Miracle Mommy.
Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott is firing off after a plan to put deputies in elementary schools failed. Find out who he's now calling out.
Fort Myers police rolling out a stealth vehicle. See why you don't want to spot this thing in your rear view mirror. And we are giving you a live look, a breaking development, a story we're following in Gateway right now. An elderly man accused of shooting at his own family members in a standoff with officers. And now that house is on fire. A full live report for you next. Four in your corner, continuing to follow breaking news in Lee County right now.
That's right. It's happening in Gateway. We've had reports of shots fired at a home in Gateway involving an elderly man and his family, and now there are reports of that house on fire. Let's get right away to Dave Colbreth, who's standing by with the latest. Dave.
Yes, that's right. Exactly right, Kelly. What happened at 1190 Lakeland Circle here in Silver Lakes Estates at Gateway? A 70-year-old man apparently took some shots at his wife and daughter. They were not hit. One of them was transported to the hospital just as a routine measure, but they are safe and secure, I'm told by the sheriff's officials right now. Apparently, after that, the man set fire to his house. Don't know whether it was intentional, although presumably it would be. Don't know the magnitude of the fire, although you can see from some video that the smoke's coming out pretty hard. And also, the fire department is on its way. A little while ago, they were unaware that that had happened, but now apparently that's been confirmed that the man has set his house on fire. And right now, Tony Shaw's with the Lee County Sheriff's Office just walked up. And Tony, we're live. If you could tell us a little bit about what's going on, appreciate it.
Well, the latest we have is that the house that the gentleman is in is fully engulfed. We can't get in there right now, so we don't know what his status is at the time being.
Okay, and I believe you still have SWAT team members and stuff outside trying to get him to come out?
Yeah, we were negotiating with him. Again, the residences nearby were evacuated. The school was put on lockdown, so we've taken every precaution that we could to keep people out here safe. Again, if you live in this area, there's no reason to leave the house right now. Stay safe in your house until this is brought to a resolution.
Can you tell us a little bit about the incident that brought you guys out here?
We got a call that there was a gentleman in the 70s that had a firearm that had fired on his wife and daughter. Fortunately, neither one of those two were hit or injured. They are both now safe and secure. He was running around. He went inside, barricaded himself, armed inside the residence, and that's the latest that we have, is that residence is now fully engulfed.
I know you've been running around like crazy with like a madman with your cell phone to your ear. Have you heard any reason as to what precipitated this whole action? Did the wife or daughter tell any of your investigators? Do you know?
Don't have that information right now. We'll get it to them when we can.
Okay, thank you. Tony Shaw with the Lee County Sheriff's Office. That's what we have right here now. Live, Dave Colbreth, Fox 4 in your corner.
Well, we're pretty dry close to the Storm Patrol, Viper. We are picking up on pretty good rain, but it's mainly well east of I-75. Showers that are moving away from the coast. LaBelle, that rain. Clewiston, you may be getting that rain here next hour to hour and a half or so. South of LaBelle at this point, it continues to move inland. Not a lot of thunder and lightning here, but we'll zoom just a little bit closer. Lehigh Acres, basically dry. Here's that shower that's making its way through LaBelle. LaBelle, that shower path. We're going to start to see some changes here over the next half hour or so. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm having a microphone problem, so I'm just going to turn things over to meteorologist Michelle Cunningham. Let her take it over and take an early dinner break. All yours.
Teamwork. That's why there's two of us here. That's right. We do have some showers that are continuing to move. As Jim said, these are moving fairly slowly and have been popping up in random areas across southwest Florida throughout the day. And with the winds just so light, we have not seen any substantial steering currents, and that's why we've seen some slow movers. So the model data, this is kind of hard to believe this time of year because this was a typical May type type of day where coastal communities stayed dry. It was very hot, very humid. You can feel the thickness in the atmosphere. Well, we are about to see some changes. We actually have an approaching cold front. So when you look at this, what happens tomorrow is we see very little activity in the way of the showers, and then we will start to feel the winds shifting a little bit ahead of our next cold front that's going to be moving through. Now, it's not going to bring a big cool down, but what it is going to bring is a drop in the dew point temperatures. And today we felt those dew point temperatures in the lower 70s, right around 70 degrees. And it's just a measure of how humid and how warm the atmosphere is, so how much moisture is in the atmosphere. So what we're going to see over the next couple of days is the winds shift and becoming a little bit more northwesterly. And as they do, we are going to start to feel the humidity levels decreasing. So this is Friday morning throughout the day, and you can see the wind arrows now coming out from the northwest, and there's that frontal system pushing through across, it looks like, Friday night into early Saturday morning. And then you can see behind it the wind arrows really beginning to elongate and winds becoming northerly and then more northeasterly. So we're not expecting a cool down by any means, but what we are going to feel are those lower humidity levels, lower dew points, and it's actually going to feel really great. So terrific timing for the weekend. If you have outdoor plans, it looks like it's going to be dry and it's not going to be scorching. We are looking at rainfall this month, and we have seen some extremes, particularly on the east coast of Florida. Fort Lauderdale has picked up almost 12 inches. West Palm Beach, 13 inches in the month of May. We're doing very well across southwest Florida as well, with Punta Gorda at 2 1/4, Fort Myers over 3.5 inches. So we're in really good shape as far as rainy season comes, and the National Weather Service just declared that rainy season for this year has officially begun. And one of the reasons we've been seeing such an active pattern, look at this, West Palm Beach 10 inches over where they normally are this time of year. Fort Lauderdale 9 inches over. So as far as rainfall goes across southwest Florida, we are doing a really well. Temperatures, well, we're at 79 degrees in LaBelle. Of course, that's a rain-cooled temperature. We are looking at in the mid-80s, and again, it is humid out there, so it feels like it's in the lower 90s, and we are looking at the dew points, and this is what I was talking about, Captiva feeling real sticky out there. Of course, a little bit of a breeze, and of course, being on Captiva, it doesn't feel all that bad, but with these dew points very high and in the muggy range, it's going to feel sticky out there, but these are going to drop almost 10 degrees over the next couple of days, and it's going to feel very nice. If you do have plans tonight and you live a little bit deeper inland, we are going to see those showers coming to an end fairly quickly. It looks like by 7, 8 o'clock they're going to be dissipating. Mostly clear overnight, and then tomorrow morning with all this humidity around, winds have been so light, little bit of patchy fog, but I don't think it's going to cause any problems for us. For our zone forecasts, we're looking at patchy morning fog for you inland communities, hot, and it's going to be a humid day tomorrow. Temperatures will climb into the lower 90s for you. In our harbor zones, a little bit of patchy fog. Punta Gorda, you usually get some of those lower lying areas. But breezy afternoons with winds picking up. That sea breeze is going to develop nicely. So if you do live along the coast, it's going to feel good. A bit of morning fog again for our coastal communities, and then we're going to see lots of sunshine. Dry conditions for the next couple of days. That onshore flow developing, going to be a great afternoon for the beaches with that wind kind of kicking up a little bit in the afternoon to cool things off. So beaches, we're expecting temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. For the boaters, beautiful day outside. We'll see the winds picking up a little bit throughout the day, but overall west 5 to 10 knots, increasing a little bit. Look at this weekend forecast. Less humid, sunny, breezy, Memorial Day. Doesn't get much better than that in southwest Florida in May.
Thank you, Michelle. For your corner, continuing to stay on top of breaking news right now out of Lee County.
A chilling situation in Gateway, some heavy smoke on the horizon, a house on fire, and investigators are telling us the elderly man who was living in there, his status is unknown. They're not sure what's going on with him right now. He's accused of shooting at his own family members. He was in a standoff with officers. The latest on this developing story for you right after this. Fort Myers police unveiling a brand new tool they say will make your road safer.
For Your Corner's Julian Glover was at the event and has a scoop on this new technology that you could soon see out on the street.
That's right, Kelly. Fort Myers PD is excited about this new technology. They're calling this their newest tool to fight crime. It's not a weapon, but comes in the package of a brand new, unmarked Chevy Tahoe.
It's sleek, it's stealthy, and it's FMPD's newest tool to crack down on drunk drivers.
The biggest advantage of this is that the vehicle has an intoxilizer in it.
To us, that's the breathalyzer machine that allows police to check and monitor blood alcohol content on the spot. This technology inside unmarked police cruisers will speed up the booking process, allowing police to crack down on more drunk drivers.
This vehicle will allow for faster processing of the impaired driver. This way the officer can get back out there.
Now police will be able to measure the driver's blood alcohol content, administer the required 20-minute observation period, and book the driver on the spot if their BAC is above the legal limit.
We're saving hopefully close to an hour, hour and a half by doing the booking process and everything there in the field.
In a 2012 report, Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles reported 9,592 DUI-related arrests for the year. That number up 500 arrests from the previous year. Police hope the new cruiser helps continue that trend.
Folks knowing that there is now an unmarked vehicle out there, maybe get them to think twice about driving impaired.
And the best part about it all, the new police cruisers won't cost you a dime. The $54,000 vehicle was paid for completely by a state grant from FDOT. This makes Fort Myers PD the second police force in the state to get the new high-tech tool. Julian Glover, Fox 4 in your corner.
And we, of course, are continuing to follow breaking news out of Lee County right now.
A chilling situation in Gateway, some heavy black smoke over a home there. The elderly man who lives in this home was in a standoff with officers throughout the afternoon. He's accused of shooting at his own family members. The fire seems to be easing up, but investigators say they don't know where that man is right now. The latest for you, next.
From Southwest Florida's news source, this is Fox 4 News at 6.
For you on a breaking story in Lee County right now.
That's right. It's a bizarre story involving gunshots, also a standoff, as well as a fire. Let's get right now to Dave Colbreth. He is there live on the scene. And Dave, last time we talked to you, we didn't know what the status was of the man who was inside the home on fire. Do we have any idea of that right now?
No, we don't right now. We do know that the fire has been put out somewhat. There's just a little bit of it still billowing, but it happened in around 4:15 this afternoon. Police were called to this area, which is in the Silver Lakes at Gateway community off of Daniels Parkway and Griffin Road, north of the Southwest Florida International Airport. They were called reference a shooting. What turned out to be the case was a man who was in his 70s, apparently took shots at his wife and daughter. They are okay. They're safe and secure, we're told by the Lee County Sheriff's Office. They did not hit either one of them, but after that, he holed himself up inside and now involved in a standoff, or I guess was involved with a standoff until he apparently set fire to his house. Somehow or other, a fire started. Did he set it, or did something else cause the fire? We don't really know the answer to that right now. All that we know is that there was a fire, and it was a pretty big fire going on at his house at 11190 Lakeland Circle here in the Silver Lakes estate. That's pretty much what we know at this point, and we'll get back to you in just a few minutes after we get some more answers, hopefully. Live, Dave Colbreth, Fox 4 in your corner.
All right, and the latest on our website, fox4now.com. In the meantime, how much is the safety of your kids worth?
That's a question Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott once answered after a plan that would put school resource officers in elementary schools was shot down. Now he's making a new plea to keep the idea alive. 4 in your corner's Warren Wright talked to Mike Scott about his concerns and also has a Fox 4 exclusive on what a Fort Myers City Councilman wants to do to help.
Sheriff Scott put it all on the line with this open letter and basically said we as a community need to decide how important are our children and what are we going to do to protect them.
Sheriff Mike Scott is frustrated. With an open letter to the public, he states that school safety is an item of high value and wants student resource officers in all elementary schools. And he doesn't know what else to do since the Lee County Commissioners wouldn't budge on the budget and give him more money to put more SROs on school campuses. I got a chance to speak with Sheriff Scott while he was out of the area.
Are you going to go back and rework your budget to work within the parameters of the money that you have to make sure that the SROs are going to be at every elementary school?
I simply can't do that, Warren. We've reduced our budget 6 consecutive years in a row. We have, other things as well that we have to maintain a basic level of service.
But Sheriff Scott thinks other entities besides the county commission can and need to step up. Fort Myers City Councilman Johnny Streets agrees.
I think we should not be sitting on the sideline, but to be able to raise the hand and say, how can we help?
Both Cape Coral and Fort Myers pulled their SRO funding for high schools and middle schools 2 years ago. The sheriff stepped in and filled the gap, 22 officers. Streets wants to address Scott's plea for additional officers at elementary schools with the Fort Myers City Council.
I would certainly look at bringing it back to the council on a green sheet for discussion to see what can we do.
Now, Streets plans to submit the item for discussion and have it on the agenda for the next City Council meeting on the first week of June. It should be noted that the City of Sanibel has always helped with funding for an SRO on its elementary campus. Live, Warren Wright, Fox 4, back to you.
Cape Coral police want you to take a look at newly released surveillance pictures to help them catch a smash and grab burglary suspect. The picture comes from the Lucky Star convenience store on Cape Coral Parkway East. Officers say the woman you see there threw a piece of concrete through the glass door, jumped over the counter, grabbed loot before taking off. If you can identify this woman, call Crime Stoppers 1-800-780-TIPS.
If you live in a certain part of Cape Coral, you're being advised to boil your water tonight after a water main break. The break happening this morning in the 100 block of Camel Parkway. Now, officials tell us the break has been fixed, but if you live in the area, your water may be cloudy or brown. Now, officials say it's not going to pose a health risk, but just as a precaution, you should boil it for at least 2 minutes before you drink it.
And Jim Sion joining me now in the Storm Patrol Weather Center, and I'm learning that taking a walk in May at noon, maybe not the best idea.
Well, wait till we get to June and July and August.
Just don't even chance it, right?
Yeah. Well, the dew point's up significantly today, and Storm Patrol Viper is showing us some rain that's mainly inland right now. Showers that are moving away from the coast. But if you do live in Glades and Hendry County, still some rain to deal with here over the next hour to hour and a half or so. We'll zoom in on this shower, which should be passing through Immokalee in the next 20 to 25 minutes or so. But that cell right on top of Immokalee containing the heaviest rain. Go a little bit farther to the north, some showers around Lakeport. Those should be ending in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. Are we officially in the rainy season? We actually have an official answer for you. We'll tell you coming up here in about 10 minutes. A late May cold front, we actually have one that we're tracking right now, and it looks like we do have some pretty significant weekend changes to talk about. We'll have it all for you coming up here in about 10 minutes.
Four in the corner with the very latest now on how survivors are continuing on the road to recovery in Moore, Oklahoma. Fox's Nicole Callins has the latest.
We are learning the staggering toll today with word that between 12 and 13,000 homes were hit by Monday's EF5 tornado.
Oh yeah, that's the receipts that I had when I rebuilt this house.
Sorting through the pile of rubble that used to be his house, Rick Brown is surprised by what he's finding untouched.
I was real short on clothes until we found this closet still standing.
While the Oklahoma Insurance Department says the preliminary cost of the tornado damage could be $2 billion, the feds are pledging help and urging the people of Moore to hang in there.
We will be here to stay until this recovery is complete, so you have our commitment on that.
All across the U.S., from California to New York, help is on the way. Whether it's volunteers from the Red Cross or a pair of EMTs from Pennsylvania, people are paying it forward.
I just want to get down there and give back.
The recovery turning from search dogs to comfort dogs. These pups from Illinois trained for tragedy. They've been to Newtown and Boston in the last 6 months, now heading to Moore.
Sad to say it's been too often because of the tragedies, but it's what we do.
Even while digging through piles of rubble, some here are remaining upbeat, finding irony amidst the tragedy.
Movie Twister.
You got it out?
Yeah, we just found it laying in front of our entertainment center.
As FEMA and the Homeland Security Secretary pledged to people here that they will not be forgotten, President Obama is planning a trip of his own on Sunday to see the damage firsthand. In Moore, Oklahoma, Nicole Callins, Fox News.
If you would like to make a donation to help with the relief efforts in Oklahoma, you can do it right now when you click on the big red 4 on fox4now.com.
Big names in comedy like Drew Carey and Pauly Shore have taken the stage at Marco Island's Off the Hook Comedy Club. But now the club is moving, and as 4 in Your Corner's Julie Salomone discovered, they hope to reel in bigger crowds and even bigger talents.
The stage is moving, and the owner of Off the Hook Comedy Club is jumping ship.
We're moving because we had the opportunity to move into a larger venue and create the draw from the area in general, as opposed to just being a Marco Island destination.
Off the Hook Comedy Club has been in Marco Island since 2005. It's located inside of Captain Brian's Seafood and Raw Bar. But now the last will move to Bonita Springs, and it's something he thinks his customers will applaud.
Our main clientele, I think, is a mix between Naples, Fort Myers, Bonita, Cape Coral. They do travel. Typical guest travels over 25 miles to get here, since we are isolated on an island.
Captain Brian Spina, owner of the comedy club, says he'll relocate at the corner of Imperial and Bonita Beach Road. He'll take over this vacant building, expand, and turn it into an entertainment complex, drawing in way more than just comedy acts.
We'll see some different restaurant-type venues, as well as a great big dinner theater.
The move will bring about 200 new jobs to the area.
Not only are we taking over the entire building, we're expanding the building quite a bit, and we purchased a lot next door as well. It's 4 acres total.
Captain Brian says construction should start in the summer, and he promises this new location will be off the hook. Julie Salmon, Fox 4, in your corner.
Now, the seafood restaurant is staying put. It's just the comedy club that's moving. Captain Brian hopes to get the first round of acts taking the stage in the new location by December.
4 in your corner, telling you something good and inviting you to help feed the Cape this summer, so kids who don't have free school lunches and breakfast still have something to eat. You can help with the first ever Feed the Cape campaign by dropping off your canned goods and other non-perishable food items, as well as cash donations if you'd like, at one of the 17 locations throughout Cape Coral. And for a full list of those locations and the closest one to you, just go to fox4now.com and click on the big red 4. 4 in your corner, continuing to follow breaking news for you right now in the Gateway area. A house on fire after a standoff. The man inside accused of shooting at his own family members. We have got a live look at the scene right now as you see one of the sheriff's helicopters over the scene. They're looking for the man who was in the standoff. At last check, they say they couldn't find him. The house in flames, the smoke on the horizon. A full live report for you next. We have an update on a breaking story in Lee County right now. Gunfire at a home in Gateway, then a standoff. The man accused of shooting at his relatives in a standoff with officers, and then that house catching fire. 4 in your corner's Dave Culbreth rejoining us live from the scene with the very latest. Dave?
Yes, Patrick, it's called the Silver Lakes at Gateway, and the house was on Lakeland Circle. It is on Lakeland Circle. Well, maybe was on Lakeland Circle because it caught on fire here a little while ago. It all happened at 4:15 this afternoon, and joining us now is Sheriff's Department spokesman Tony Shaw. If you can, pick it up from the beginning and just tell us how it all started and what you know about it, if you will.
What had happened was we had a call initially of some shots fired. Appeared to be a domestic altercation between a gentleman in his 70s and his wife and daughter. I know he fired at them. Fortunately, did not hit them. The sheriff's office was able to safely get them out. They are safe and secure right now. The gentleman went in the house, holed himself up in the house, was armed, barricaded himself. Obviously, we tried to negotiate and get him out. And as everybody has seen, the house was fully engulfed. They're mopping it up right now, but we have not been able to get inside the house yet to determine his status.
A couple of questions that you probably don't know the answer to at this point because it's really early in the investigation. Any idea why the house started on fire? Did he start it, or it would be kind of peculiar if it didn't start it, I suppose, but any idea?
I don't have any official confirmation exactly on how it started yet.
Okay. And you do say that the daughter and the wife are safe right now?
Yes, they are safe and secure.
Okay. Do we have any idea what the status is of the man, the 70-year-old man inside there at this point?
Don't know. Again, we've had 4 or 5 fire departments out here. They are, looks like they're mopping up the scene right now. So as soon as it's safe for our guys to get in there and for everybody else to get in there, we'll get in there and try to determine what the situation is.
Final question. Last time when we talked, you said that if anybody's in this neighborhood, that they should probably stay in their homes. Do you still feel the same way?
Well, I mean, again, if there's no reason to be out and about, again, the situation is pretty much confined to a central area. But again, let's let the situation get resolved, and then everybody can get back to their lives as normal.
Final question is never a final question. This Gateway Elementary School was on lockdown at some point. Is that correct?
Yes. As far as we know, all the kids have been brought home, and the situation is over with. So.
Okay. We're live in Gateway. Dave Culbreth, Fox 4 in your corner.
All right, thank you, Dave. As you heard from the Sheriff's Office spokesperson, it's unclear where the man is. So it's possible he's inside the burning home. It's possible he's not, and they're advising you if you live in that area, if you don't have to be outside, stay in your house for now. The latest for you on this story on fox4now.com. Kelly?
On now to some happier news. For kids, memories are made on the playground, and some Cape Coral kids at Gulf Elementary learned today that statement couldn't be more true. Our cameras were rolling as a few got a surprise they won't soon forget.
Yep, we're on our way to Miss Brown's room.
It's a mission executed with precision for Army Specialist Kat Goad.
Oh, I'm nervous and excited.
Her long road to see her kids ends here at Gulf Elementary. The anxiety starts to build. Kat has missed a lot in the last year serving in Afghanistan, and only this door is in the way of making up for lost time.
What are you guys doing?
A moment months in the making. Kat surprising her two kids, Bryce and Brittany, and a niece, Nikki, she's never met.
I wanted to surprise the kids and just kind of give them something they wouldn't forget.
These kids aren't wasting any time filling Mom in on what she missed.
Awesome!
For Kat, it's hard not to notice just how much they've changed.
Oh my God, it's amazing to finally see him. She's gotten so big, she's lost teeth, and I mean, he's gotten big.
With this deployment, Kat has sacrificed a lot, but says she did it to send a message to her children that she now holds in her arms.
I had a great support system here at home, and I knew they were being taken care of, so made it a little bit easier.
The laughter and excitement, exactly what you would expect coming from a playground. But instead of these kids looking forward to playing with their friends, they finally get to play with their mom.
I wouldn't trade this feeling for anything.
Okay, awesome.
Well, Kat has another son, Corbin. He's younger. She surprised him at home earlier in the day. The kids told their mom they now want to go to SeaWorld. They're not wasting any time. Kat, with a smile, said, "We'll see."
Most of our showers inland east of I-75 as we're using the power of 4 right now to show you that rain that's moving toward the other coast. So it looks like close to the coast, pretty much dry for the rest of this evening. Dry but humid. Here's that cell that we're tracking right now. Right on top of Immokalee is where the heaviest rain was about 10 minutes ago or so. It looks like that rain's starting to get a little bit lighter, and the weather should be improving in Immokalee here in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. Lighter showers close to Lakeport and Moorhaven. These should last for about another 20 to 25 minutes. Then after that, you should be mainly dry. Showers, though, they're actually going to get a little less numerous over the next couple of days. Look at these rainfall totals, though, for the month of May, and we're not even done with May. We still have another week to go. We've picked up over 13 inches of rain in West Palm Beach, 12 inches in Fort Lauderdale. Here on our side of the state, okay, anywhere from about 2.5 to 3.5 inches. But it's the afternoon rains that have been pretty regular here over the last 5-6 days that prompted the National Weather Service to say officially the rainy season has begun. Well, it officially has begun, but we're actually looking at some slightly drier weather in our short-term forecast. Temperatures in the mid-80s right now, but here's the thing most people notice today. Dew point temperatures as high as 76, a little bit higher, I think, close to the coast thanks to the sea breeze. But it definitely felt a lot more like summertime today, and that added moisture going to translate into a little bit of patchy fog as we look toward tomorrow morning. An inland shower at 7 p.m., then mainly clear at midnight. Little bit of inland fog by 5 a.m. We don't think it's going to be a major concern, but that humidity is actually going to be going down a little further along the line. Here's meteorologist Michelle Cunningham with more.
That's right. Jim and I were having a debate earlier. Is it scorching or is it excruciating outside today? You didn't think it was quite as hot as I did, but we have some relief on the way in the form of those dew points dropping down, and that means that over the next couple of days, and perfect timing, holiday weekend, those dew points are going down. Going to feel real comfortable out there. So this is how it looks throughout the evening. We can see that onshore flow has developed, and it really has pushed those showers that have developed throughout the afternoon over to the other coast. So as we look through tomorrow, you can see we're waiting for the green precipitation to kind of pop up in the afternoon, and it just does not appear. So it looks like some drier air has moved in. We had an upper level low pressure system that was steering at this. It was providing a lot of the energy for a lot of the storms that we've seen over the last couple of days. That has since moved out further toward the east. So now some drier air is moving in, and it's going to feel really nice. This is Friday at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we see a little bit of a cold front across the Florida Panhandle. It's going to continue to push further south and really actually push through the Florida Peninsula. You're not going to feel a dip in temperatures, but you can see the wind arrows. They're elongating, and they're also coming from a terrific direction. They're coming from the north, so that means that drier air is going to start to filter down over the peninsula. And also notice, it's not milky, it's not green, so the weekend forecast looking absolutely terrific, particularly if you have outdoor plans. Our inland communities tomorrow, that drier air not coming just yet. So hot and humid tomorrow with a little bit of patchy fog tomorrow morning for our inland communities. Temperatures are going to be in the the lower 90s. If you live in the harbor zones, particularly Inglewood, Rotunda, Venice, right along those beaches, going to be nice in the afternoon as we are going to see that onshore flow developing and feeling really comfortable. A little bit of patchy fog for the coastal communities, Cape Coral, Estero, Bonita. You're going to see in those lower lying areas a few pockets of early morning fog. It's not going to last long. It's not going to be a big deal. Lots of sunshine for the coast, and we are going to see the beaches with a beautiful day and plenty of sunshine in the afternoon with a nice onshore flow developing. Westerly winds for the boaters tomorrow, 5 to 10 knots. We'll see winds picking up a little bit over the next couple of days on the waters. So look at the weekend forecast. Memorial Day, Saturday, Sunday, very comfortable, breezy, and of course less humid. That's the big one. Remember, we are giving away these Storm Patrol umbrellas all month, and you can win one. All you have to do is head out to facebook.com/Fox4Now and like us on Facebook. We'll be picking 5 winners during each of our newscasts. Here are tonight's winners. If you see your name, all you have to do is come down to our station on Pine Island Road in Cape Coral between 8 and 5 to claim your umbrella. We have a list of all winners and directions to the station at facebook.com/Fox4Now. Congratulations.
Four in your corner, still working to get you the very latest information on a breaking story in Lee County.
That's right. It involves an elderly man. You're taking a live look right now. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says it appears that he shot at his family. Then there was a shootout, a standoff, and then the house went on fire. We'll have the very latest on the investigation coming up.
Four in the corner updating you on a breaking story in Lee County right now.
Right. We know that things started late this afternoon. It involved an elderly gentleman in his 70s. Now, the Lee County Sheriff's Office says that he shot at his family, his wife and daughter. They are okay. He then engaged in a standoff with police, and then it appears that he may have lit his home on fire. Last we know, the crews were going through that home after the fire was out, and for the very latest, we're going to go to Dave Colbreth. He's live at the scene.
And that is currently the status right here now as the crews are going through the home. It's unknown as to what the man's condition is. He was a man in his 70s, and apparently he took a couple of shots at his wife and daughter who were in the home at the time. This all happened around 4:16 this afternoon when the Lee County Sheriff's Office were called to a reported shooting. Apparently the wife and the daughter were able to escape and get out, and I'm told they're safe and secure at this point. The man stayed in there, holed himself up inside, refused to come out. SWAT team and sheriff's deputies came over here, tried to coerce him to come out, and then at some point the house caught on fire. Whether he did it or not is unknown at this point, but that's what we know right now. What his status is right now, we do not know. As we speak, they are inside the house tending to that situation. We are live in Gateway. Dave Colbreth, Fox 4 in your corner.
And we are updating you on this developing story on Fox4Now.com as we get the latest information. Just want to make it clear, because deputies don't know where the man is, it's possible he's in the house, it's possible he's not, and he did have a gun. So they're saying just to be safe, if you live in the Gateway area, stay in your home for now. We'll be right back.
And before we go, we want to update you again on what's happening out there in Lee County near Gateway. There was a call late afternoon to a home. We learned shots were fired. When deputies arrived, they found that a man apparently shot his daughter and wife, and they did escape. The man was inside.
We just want to make it clear he shot at them. They were not hit. He holed himself up. The house caught fire. That's what you're looking at right now. They can't find the man. The latest for you on Fox4Now.com.